Of course, the two words that definitely jump at me are social innovation. Innovation is everything something we lack around can, in the sense that we become a nation of users. So basically, there's a new product, we use it. There's another new product, we move on to it and all that. And the idea is there's nothing that can sustain that way. We need to innovate, because innovation actually means that it could simply mean that we're taking what exists, refining it to fit our context, or creating something entirely new. And the idea of social innovation is innovation that creates social change. And I think that, unfortunately, one of the things we've done over the years in Nigeria, and of course in the entire developing world, is that we've tried to, we have people who are creating innovation, and they're basically, compensated, paid for what they're doing, so they're like motivated to do that. But we've had a lot of problem with social change in the continent and even outside, because there's no motivation for people who are, creating social change to become innovative. Maybe there's no challenge, maybe there's no motivation. But the idea is now, I'm glad there's a growing movement saying that, guess what, we can't solve the problem at the same level of thinking where we created the problem. So we need to use the same skills of innovation that we use in businesses to create social change. And that is fantastic.
Part of our plans is to have this innovation that are created in social innovation being based on mobile and web technology. Why do you see this as
with almost 80 million mobile phone users in Nigeria? How many people have televisions and watch it in Nigeria? It's not going to be 80 million because of power. But people have mobile phones. I mean, radio is a lot more, public. But the truth again about radio is that radio is one way. You can't talk to the radio. But the only thing that we have that is bi-directional and is fast in terms of coverage of Nigeria is the mobile phone. You can talk to people, they can talk to you, you can send SMS to them, they can send SMS to you. And mobile is the way to go. Over 400 million mobile phone users in the continent of Africa, which is going to become 1 billion in the next 10, 15 years, because even less. Because the truth is, everybody realizes the fact that for you to get connected, and there's going to be a lot of motivation to get connected very soon, because a lot of governance issues are moving online. So people are going to definitely want to move online. A lot of business opportunities. Let me give a very simple example. The moment the educational system of a country shifts from paper-based to computer-based, people are forced online. For example, people write exams in secondary school to go to university in Nigeria to check their results, they need to go online. Every day they become internet users. If a mobile application is something they need to use, then they'll have to use them. And so there's a lot of motivation, there's social motivation, there's economic motivation, there's life motivation in itself. There's even the pressure that everybody has a phone. And I'm the only one who doesn't have a phone. So, which is why they say an average Nigerian, an average of 2 Nigerians own 3 mobile phones in between that. But the idea is, if it's going to be critical, if we're going to reach the critical and important mass in Nigeria, if we're going to make it bi-directional, if we're going to make it extremely affordable, then it's got to be mobile. I mean, a 3310, I don't mean to be disrespectful here, the 3310, if it can't be done at 3310, then it's not exactly what we need.
And what kind of social problems do you see potential of being solved?
A lot of. I mean, we're in Lagos, so maybe I should start with mobile, with traffic. I mean, for God's sake, what are we going to do to solve traffic problems? We've got reporting crisis, which is why Ushayi is very popular. We've got a lot of, elections. What we gathered to discuss earlier today was how to use technology for elections. Simple text messages, simple, robocalls, simple things that you can do with a mobile phone. And the problems are endless. How do we map locations where there are pipeline damages? How do we map locations before it becomes an explosion? How do you report a building that is already saying hello? Hello, before it falls down. Yeah. Easily you can use a mobile application for that. And I think that one of the key things that helps mobile is the fact that when you design it to solve a social problem, it gains a life of its own and it even becomes something economically sustainable in itself. You see what has happened to every mobile application that's been developed around? It's popular. Eventually, if it's something, even if it's 1 naira that will pay to get access to that information every time they access it, 1 naira times 1 million is 1 million naira. And I think that's one key thing Nigerians, as young Nigerians, need to get, that you don't have to wait for 1 million. You can begin with 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And eventually you can get it. Of course, nobody wants to wait 1 million before they get to the 1 million. But the truth is, by the time you get to 10 and 15, you've created 15 people who can tell 15 other people. When you have 30, who can tell 30 others, and it becomes a geometric progression.
How do we get interest away from just people in the tech community? Because it seems when you mention mobile and web technology, people who are not geeks freeze.
Well, I think the first thing is for all of us who are not geeks to confess that we're not geeks. I am no geek, you know. But reality is, mobile phones are the easiest things to demystify. Ask anybody the question: who taught you to pick a call? Who taught you to make a call? Nobody. So if you're smart enough to make a call, and you're smart enough to pick a call, then you can send a text message. Because a lot of people don't send text message because they're like, how do I do it? If you can be smart enough to pick a call and then go on to send a text message, then you can access the menu on your phone to get the application. The problem we have usually is that most of the applications come in English because it is designed by somebody in the UK or the US or in Malaysia or somewhere. But guess what? When we begin to do local stuff, it will be good to see a drop-down menu that says Ojobo et Abameta, or that says, you know...
Those are the days of the week in Yoruba.
Exactly. You know, I thought I was going to use that to everybody. So they can ask me so I can get paid to translate this, but now you've given it up. So the idea is basically when you do something and it's contextualized, it practically grows a life of its own. And it means that if people find something familiar, for example, I mean, on my BlackBerry now, I've got the RSVP feed, which was designed by, you know, for here in Nigeria. Everybody who uses that finds it very friendly because the thing is, everything you do is RSVP. You know the message, you know why the message, and then you enjoy it. So maybe it will even make you spend more time on your phone.
One last question. How do we get more Nigerians interested in making social change?
I think...
How do we take it away from the work of the NGOs
and CSOs? Well, I think a very good time to do that is now, when we've lost the president almost in secret, when we've come to a situation where everybody is eager, you know, asking what is going to happen in 2011. And because at the end of the day, you need to understand that it is not somebody else's responsibility for me to stay alive. It is my responsibility. I'm the driver's seat of my life. And everyone can make change happen. We actually all do make change happen. Changing a bulb in your house from a 60-watt bulb to an 11-watt bulb is as simple as that, but then means that you're beginning to learn the culture of managing power, and when you're on the grid, use less. That's not very popular right now. But the reality is, if everybody is made to realize that the small change you create and the small change I create is like a sine wave, a small sine wave plus another small sine wave, as long as they're in unison, creates a great tide. You know, and that's the basic idea. And it's a good time because we've seen it happen in a lot of places across the world, and we can see it happen in Nigeria. And we don't need 1 million people to get it done. You need people consistently doing it and talking about it. And that's why I'm excited about the idea of Social Innovation Camp. That's why I'm glad we're doing this in Nigeria. I'm sure it's not going to be the first. I mean, it's not going to be the last, but definitely it's going to spin off, you know, a lot of other things, you know, that are going to be done. Everyone is a change maker.
Thank you very much.